A very warm welcome back to F1 Lads League. I'm Zubby, and you join us for the second half of a season that has been nothing short of a spectacular. The summer break is over. The driver market has exploded, and we are back for another wildcard doubleheader. This week's race is brought to you by Rhythm and Brew. Whether it kicks on recovery on your coffee and music fix, the first event is on August 10 and tickets are now on sale, so make sure to go and buy them. The biggest story that has sent shockwaves through this league is the closure of mid-season driver trade window. Let's break down the blockbuster moves. First, the one we all saw coming, Red Bull's megastar Mappa has officially been traded to Ferrari. In return, the high-octane, the high-incident driver, New EG, moves up to championship leaders Red Bull. Mappa got his wish, but can he carry the weight of a struggling Ferrari team? In a stunning secondary move, McLaren's Big Daddy Aranga has also been traded to Ferrari, with the breakout rookie star Sheehan moving to McLaren. This gives Ferrari a brand new driver lineup of Mappa and Aranga, but the paddock rumor is that McLaren may have been ripped off, as Sheehan is apparently in the middle of moving house and has no internet access for practice, so a broken car and can't do any practice. And the final bombshell, Ferrari team principal Chad has been suspended following a complaint from Mercedes over a failed trade attempt for Kalpa. A truly chaotic mid-season for the prancing horse. So let's look at the standings. The trades are yet to affect the points, so Red Bull are still the lead. The constructors on 142 points, with Mercedes second on 111, with McLaren is third on 84, and Ferrari is only 1 point behind in fourth place with 83 points. Trailing Red Bull by a whopping 53 points, the Drivers' Championship is led by Mappa on 95 points, who brings that lead over to his new Ferrari team. He's followed by Shahan, Rhoda and Shahan in second, third and fourth. Then it's New EG in fifth, with Kampa in sixth, and followed up by Sheehan in seventh and Aranga in eighth place in the championship. So the championship leader is now at the last place team. Red Bull have had a wild card in a New EG. McLaren have a star rookie with no internet, and a team principal is suspended. It's an incredible setup for the rest of the. You won't want to miss this amazing action with all the cars just out on track in a few moments now. We already have cars on track with Lafayette in that McLaren is out there, and so definitely we're now seeing cars out on track and go around this.
That'd be a falling out. Dropping out.
It's here at Portugal. It's like, well, let me just restart my PC. Discord's having some issues.
Close between me and left, I reckon.
I think
Well,
it's like less than a tenth.
Back and forth.
Stuffed up turn one.
That's pretty close.
Shit.
Hey, the boys are back.
Luigi's back.
Supportive team. Supportive
Yeah.
team.
Better team culture.
Stuart's a bit rude, eh?
Oh, you fuck!
Oh man. Mm.
Oh, who took out my front wing?
Okay, there we go. The voice should be back now. And apologies everybody about that. We missed out the race start and a lap of qualifying because of some technical difficulties. But we are now in for the race here at Portugal. And there's going to be a tap from Lafferett onto the back of New EG. And New EG is going to lose.
Hey, you're dropping out, Zebby. Can't hear you, Zebby.
Lose out that lead. And that's going to be...
Okay, there we go. How's the mic?
I hear you, Zabby.
Hey, okay. I just got it from my phone, couldn't load up Discord on my PC. And we're already on lap 5 now, with Mappa leading for Ferrari. Nui D in P2 for Red Bull, trying to take that constructor's lead to the top and still try and maintain that in here for as long as he can do that, with Rhoda in P3. Along with Lafayette in P4 after a tap to Nui D gave that allowed Mappa to take that lead and lead for Ferrari here at Portimao, with Big Daddy the other in Ferrari in P5, with Sheehan in P6, followed by a Prodigy in P7, with Jahan in the Red Bull in P8. The final lap is now on for the sprint race here at Portimao. After this one, of course, we'll move up to the feature race, but this one is yet to finish. This one is yet to stop around here, as we are waiting through. Mappa still leads by over 1.7 seconds, so that he has now enough lead to go around and finish over the line in first place here at Portugal. He's just got the final corner to go now in that Ferrari, in first time in red, and he's going to be at the top. Mappa's going to win the Portuguese Grand Prix, with Nui G in P2 for his new team as well. Then comes Rhoda in P3, a podium in the sprint race. Then Lafayette in P4, followed up by Big Daddy in P5, but they've got a penalty. Is that going to be enough to keep them in P5? We're about to find out, with Prodigy over the line in P6, and yes, they will keep that P5. Then comes Sheehan in P7.
I'd like to
And now
watch
Shahan, the final one in P8, to come around and finish this race. It's actually far off from everybody. Definitely might have had some incidents throughout the race that could have been the reason of them falling out of this one. So definitely we had a little technical issue joining up for this sprint race, but there should not be no issues going forward as we are watching through, as we're waiting for our final driver to come over the line, and Shahan now finishes in P8.
Oh, who took me out at the start?
Yeah, I missed the entire start because I was just trying to get the controls right. What happened?
Save your replays.
Yeah, save your replays.
Hey, Left. What happened to Left?
Bro, my front
Left
wing.
rear-ended.
I rear-ended Nuiji.
Luigi, yeah.
There you go. Those are your podium celebrations for the sprint race. But the main event is yet to start. It's going to be the feature race, big points, and a little bit of a bigger race than this one.
Few penalties there, I reckon. Some of you guys are going to get, yeah. From what I saw. Yeah. That was crazy. Good racing,
Bro,
I guess, until that
my whole
point.
front wing was gone. Corn turn 1.
Yeah.
And those are your results for this sprint. It's Mappa at the top, with Nui G in P2 for his first outing in Red Bull for him as well. Rhoda P3 finishing on that final step of the podium, with Lafayette in P4. Then came Big Daddy in the Ferrari, Prodigy in P6, with Sheehan in P7 and Shahan in P8. The final round started 6th, but fall back towards the end.
Mike, Zabby? Yeah, boys, save your footage, yeah, please. Whatever you do today.
I forgot to start recording at the start.
You can save your recent replay.
Can you?
Yeah,
How do I
go
do it
into
now?
Should be having drivers come out on track anytime soon now to have us an action. It says 20 seconds now to the start of the qualifying lap. It's 1 lap only, so 1 lap will be between these drivers. They get this 1 lap, either you could make it or break it all around, but sometimes also means that if you get a very good one and others make mistakes, that's going to become good to you. But if you make even a slight little mistake, you do not get an opportunity to improve. Laforet, previous race, he went fastest, but that was in Portugal only for the sprint race. And if that doesn't happen here in the feature race, it is going to be different. Things are going to be very different with Mappa. Oh, that was a little slide from Mappa there, and really struggling here at this point, and fallen into P5 at this point, with others now improving. It's jumping from corner to corner every moment. It's the cars and the overlays jumping up and down for the drivers. The numbers are going up and down between these drivers because they are, and it's just one-shot qualifying, so there's a little pause when the screen moves around. But if it was going to be on one driver, that might just be better. Whoever is leading, it is New EG at the moment. Earlier he was leading the sprint race at Portugal. There was moments he was pushed back, and again he's now falls into P3, but it's moving around Mappa after making a huge mistake. Well, goes back, but still only P3. New EG again in P2. Therefore, it might as well be getting that fastest time, because we're talking about he got that in Portugal. Or is it going to be New EG? Because this is really close. This could still go over the line, almost like a photo finish, and it just feels like they're almost racing each other to the line, because everybody's on their own, and New EG Lover, it goes very wide, but might have just kept his lap, but that was not going to be enough. Going New EG is going to take position for his first outing in the blue outfit, and he's going to take pole here at China. Lafayette comes up in finishing in P2.
Close was it?
That is qualifying results then, with New EG in pole position. Lafayette 2.7 tenths down on New EG in P2, with Mappa in P3, followed up by Rhoda in P4. Then came Shahan, a better qualifying. Then he had a finish to that sprint race in P5, with Prodigy in P6. Sheehan again in P7. Big Daddy in his new Ferrari outfit is in P8. And there we go, this time around there should be no formation lap, and we are getting started. It's going to be 5 lights out, and we go racing here at Shanghai. It's going to be New EG getting a good start just ahead of Lafayette there, but Mappa's going to be coming around the outside as well. Lafayette might be losing out there, but Mappa won't be, and around the outside, and his Ferrari is going to be going around. But is it going to be good enough for them? This is going to be side by side. Is it going to be Mappa? Is it going to be New EG? It is indeed going to be Mappa, but it might be Lafayette as well. They're going to collide. They're going to make contact. They're going side by side, and Lafayette just loses that rear and is going to be bending back to the bottom of the field into P8 and falls to the bottom of this field, starting on the medium compound tire. He lost out at the start to New EG, but then going side by side makes contact. New EG still stays where he was. Prodigy now moving up the top into P3 as well. The race lead, Mappa already leads by 1.6 seconds in that Ferrari's rapid. Definitely new colors, new motivation, and he's at the top. Well, there might be a chance for Prodigy as well, but enough. That felt it was going to be pretty close between the two, and now Prodigy still in P3 with Shahan in P4, P5 for Rhoda, P6 Sheehan and Big Daddy Aranga in P7 with Lafayette still in P8. Now he will try and recover back 2.5 seconds, the gap between 2.3 seconds now, and Rhoda might as well, Prodigy might as well go for it. Almost could have lost it out and went into the back of New EG there. That could have ended horribly wrong. Meanwhile, Shahan's going to be there on the inside line into the final corner. It's not going to be enough at all, but the other Mercedes is going to be there as well. Mappa's ahead of everyone, and the Mercedes of Rhoda now coming around the outside of Shahan. They're going to go turn into water into turn one side by side. Is it going to be the Red Bull or is it going to be the Mercedes? They're still going side by side. Very wide goes Shahan, but he's going to have the inside line now. Is he going to be good enough? No, he will not be, as Rhoda is a whole car ahead now, and he's made the move into P4, but there might be another opportunity for Shahan to go down the inside here, but he won't quite do it. At this time on those hard compound tires, losing that out. The soft tires of Rhoda just sticking out, and getting a little bit better performance out against those hard tires. Definitely at the start of the race, they're going to have better grip, better traction out of anybody on the grid so far. Meanwhile, Lafayette now only 5/10 behind Aranga with their MP7 at the moment, with Lafayette recovering back after a lap 1 incident. This is going to be giving them a chance. DRS gets enabled on the next lap. It was not enabled on lap 2 till to 2023. So strategies are going to be either hard to soft or medium to soft. That's a possible strategy. They rather depends on the drivers, what they want to do and what they are looking after. Of course, there is planning, there is everything that makes through before a race weekend. With Rhoda and Prodigy both in 3 and 4 at the moment for Mercedes. They're going to try. Prodigy might as well now be in pressure by his own teammate Rhoda, but he's not close enough. But his soft tire is going to be an opportunity, a chance that's going to give them to overtake, because might as well be an opportunity for him very soon, as he's now moving very closer to his teammate on those soft compound tires within 1 second, and the DRS, he's going to be getting that as long as he stays within 1 second of him for that back straight DRS. There's a yellow flag at the back, and there might have been an incident, and it is Lafayette once again. He had made that move and made over 1.8 seconds on Big Daddy there on the Ferrari, moving up to P7, but he's going to fall back to P8. Mistake there. That is going to be problems for the McLaren, as that's going to be going from bad to worse at this point. It is now over 6.4 seconds behind the car ahead. So the battle at the moment is between these two, the two Mercedes teammates, but they seem now be looking like the gap going over 1 second already. There's another yellow flag, and this time it might be a Red Bull, and it's Big Daddy, and not quite sure if there was a Red Bull, but there is a Ferrari of Big Daddy Aranga there, and he's going to have another incident going to the grass and almost hit the wall there. That was close to the wall. That could have ended horribly wrong. I think at least that's going to give Lafayette another chance to get closer. New EG there on the edge of that final corner, goes super wide to really lose out more to map, but the gap now 2.8 seconds between the two leaders at this point. Shahan within 1 second of Sheehan there, the other McLaren in the top 5, but the Red Bull is going to try and get the top at the top as well, because earlier he was fighting one of the Mercedes there. Now he was been overtaken by the McLaren of Sheehan as well. But as soon as there's opportunity, as soon as there is DRS, the McLaren is going to be in big pressure, and there's already a driver into pit lane, and that is Lafayette. Mediums off and hard tires on lap 4 out of 14. An early pit stop, definitely not a planned one, but already spinning around, so rather pit and get that pit stop out of the way to go to the end and go longer on those hard compound tires, as this gap is now still staying within half a second and even getting less and less. He's getting closer and closer. The pressure is mounting on Sheehan. His heart must be beating out of his chest, but he's got to do the defending. He's got to focus on the driving, but can he do it though? Shahan is on the back. Shahan is almost on the rear wing, and at the gearbox of Sheehan now, the DRS is going to be getting enabled. He's got lots of ERS to use, an overtake button to get ahead of that McLaren. Both of them are on those hard compound tires. He's going to go on the inside line, and that car just ghosted out of nowhere.
Carbo, this is your race, mate.
That was pretty scary, rather watching it. Forget about being in that driving seat, because out of nowhere that ghosted, and Lafayette again has another spin. His race is just getting worse and worse. He's just not having the start to this race that he's had at all. They didn't have too good of a sprint race, but the feature race seems to go even worse, with now Sheehan with that DRS against Shahan, an opportunity that could be on his way very soon, because he's been overtaken, but he can overtake back again. He's got no battery to use, he got no ERS left, but can he do the defending? Can Shahan do the defending good enough? Meanwhile, New EG loses out to Prodigy there, and there was a lockup from Sheehan, almost went into the back of the car ahead of Shahan. That could have been pretty nasty. And New ET now has been overtaken by Prodigy in that Mercedes, and the sights could be on at the front, but no. Now the other Mercedes is going to be at the back of that Red Bull as well. He's going to go on the inside line even before that DRS, but no. He has to back out and think about it. He needs that DRS. He's already behind that Red Bull and should be through at this DRS straight. But he's got to think about it, got to manage it, as New ED is already moving left and right to break the slipstream, break the toe. But is he going to be enough to break it, though? Because he's got the DRS right in the McLaren. He's going to go defensive on the inside line, New ED. A very good defensive line, but he's going to run wide. He's going to run wide on the entry there. And on the exit, that's going to be Rhoda. And making that move, going up to the top three again. Both Mercedes are into the top three now. The podium places are the Mercedes, as apart from Mappa, who's over 7.2 seconds ahead of the driver in P2. And New ET now loses out as well. The Red Bull's constructors lead might just be in trouble now. Rhoda could well be setting up his sight on his teammate Prodigy, but he's on those soft compound tires, so that grip on those softs that will be now degrading lap after lap, and we should now be seeing Rhoda pit in anytime soon on this lap or the lap after.
Go, Cobra.
Because already we're on lap 6 out of 14, so that is a pretty good chance for the Red Bull to attack back again, or for the Mercedes drivers to maintain their dominance apart from Mappa in those podium places. Of course, Mercedes going to try and take that lead from Red Bull in the constructors to give them the best chance, knowing that the two Red Bulls are right behind them, so this gives them the best opportunity to take the lead, to have an opportunity to get a chance in the constructors title. That is going to be going for good, very good for them. But is it going to be going good, very good for them? Only time will tell, because we know that how hard it could be racing around, and
Box.
it rather could go wrong for you in seconds, in moments, and there's already a driver in the pits, and that is going to be Rhoda. The one on those soft compound tires is into the pit lane, and really in the pits now to have a best chance at the strategy. Ferrari experiment. I mean, what a fascinating story now unfolding at Ferrari. They have gone from last place to fielding the current drivers' champion Mappa. Can one driver single-handedly drag a team from bottom to the top? This is his first weekend in red, with immense pressure to deliver immediately. But you have to say that he hasn't disappointed just yet, as he's leading the Grand Prix here at China. So a lead has been his so far. But can he maintain that? For how long can he maintain that, though? New EG at Red Bull, the ultimate gamble. And what about Red Bull? They've traded away the championship leader for the one with the most extensive penalty record in the league, New EG. Is this a master stalk, hoping to tame his raw speed, or have they just invited chaos into the championship leading garage? His first race in Red Bull colors will be under intense scrutiny, and I mean, not to disappoint, he won in, if I'm not mistaken, he did win the sprint race in Portugal, but is he going to be able to maintain that? He's into P3, but that's because Rhoda has pitted. Rhoda decided to pit on those soft tires and get out of the way. Only that has allowed New EG to get back to the top 3. Can he maintain his speed? Is he going to head out into the pits now? No, he will not. In a 14-lap race, there's already a driver in the pits, and that is Prodigy. It was one Mercedes in on the other lap, and it is the other Mercedes in on this one now. Medium's going to be off, soft tires are going to be on. The Mercedes Strategy Masterclass might be on the way. I mean, not to forget the likes of Mappa and some others on those medium and hard tires are still in the lead of their positions and still staying out on track. So a possible and a good opportunity for them will be there as well to overtake and really have the best chance to fight for positions. Meanwhile, the two Mercedes drivers are going to be very close to each other. Rhoda then is behind Prodigy. Prodigy's managed to stay out and come out ahead of his teammates, or even on those soft tires. The advantage is going to be on. The advantage is going to be on to the Mercedes on those soft compound tires. McLaren's dial-up dilemma. Humorous, and the big question for McLaren is, have they made a brilliant signing or a tactical blunder? They've acquired the stunning rookie talent of Sheehan, but paddock rumors are swirling that he's currently moving a house and no internet, so definitely racing on a mobile hotspot from a cardboard box. A tough debut for the new McLaren man. Mercedes, the quiet winners, with all the chaos at Red Bull, and Ferrari have Mercedes emerged as the quiet winners of the trade window by simply staying out of it with a stable lineup of Rhoda and Kalpa. They could be the ones to capitalize on the turmoil of their rivals. But it is going to be very interesting things. Meanwhile, there's a red-green flag going from a yellow, I assume. But the Red Bulls are in now. Mappa is in, going on to the set of soft tires. The Red Bulls, or the Red Bull of New EGs, and as well, Shahan's going to go into the race lead. Mappa is already out of the pit lane, just behind Sheehan now. But Sheehan is yet to pit with New EG on those soft compound tires as well. So everybody in the last part of this race, in the final part of this Grand Prix, going out on those soft compound tires. It could be on, and it could well be an opportunity for the drivers on the soft to get to the top, because Mappa now will get the drivers out of his way with another Ferrari into the pits as well. That's going to be Big Daddy into the pit lane, getting those soft tires on as well. Everybody's on those soft tires apart from Rhoda in that Mercedes, with Mappa already. Sheehan hasn't even pitted, and Mappa's already on his way to overtake him, to get ahead of him. Even, of course, on those new soft compound tires, but he's got to go to the end on those tires, and I'm sure as soon as the drivers ahead of him pit, it's going to be in a good chance. But 3.1 seconds the gap is between Rhoda and Mappa, and Mappa might just have to slow down a little, trying to get past Sheehan there. They're still going to be side by side, but no, Mappa's going to get ahead and move into P2 of this race, with Sheehan should be coming into the pits either on next lap or the next one, because otherwise there is not going to be enough time and laps left to continue on those hard compound tires. Mappa has had the stable race lead so far to his favor. I mean, he's really he's going to go very wide. His Sheehan is going to go very wide on the pit entry there.
Here we go, Rango.
Going to be pretty lucky there was no gravel that used to be there all those years ago. Otherwise, he would have been trapped in there. But just managed to get back in. What about Ranga there? He's going to be back right behind Lafayette in that McLaren, and that Ferrari driver is going to go down the inside line with the help of that DRS, and they almost make contact, and they almost going to touch. Both of them are going to go slightly wide, and he's going to lose that little rear. He's going to slide their rear out, and that's going to allow Lafayette to stay together and stay in the chance of the fight of the position there. But he's just going to be staying out ahead and keeping that to himself. But that was very close. They made contact there as Arenga was trying to defend as hard as he could and push Lafayette to the outside line as hard as he can, but they almost made contact there. But there didn't seem to be any effect of that contact there, but then rather on the exit there, when they were about to exit, and both of them lost out their cars for a few moments. Lafayette still struggling, of course, on those hard compound tires. Everybody, apart from two drivers in this race, is on those soft compound tires. And our race leader is back in the lead with Prodigy in P2. 3.8 seconds, the gap to Mappa of Prodigy. So that could be interesting. I mean, either Prodigy's got enough speed, but has he got enough speed to go into the lead, to even get closer to our race leader in these remaining 4 laps of this Grand Prix here at China. Of course, 14 laps of racing around Shanghai. Nui G in P4 at the moment. Rhoda now in P3, but Nui G might just be on the attack to Rhoda because Rhoda's on the soft or medium tires, and the soft tire magic might well be working and might well be in the favor of Nui G in his Red Bull colors. He could be on his way to get back to the top 3 as the gap is within 1 second. The only 2 drivers that are within 1 second at this point in this race so far, and an opportunity could be on the way if no mistakes are to be made from either of the drivers, and the fight could still be on. I mean, Rhoda's got a chance to move away if Nui G makes a mistake, and Nui G's got a chance to take that position and move up to the top 3 if Rhoda makes that mistake.
Go Copa, keep going.
Lap 11 after 14, not a lot now remains to the end, but there also doesn't remain much, but that gap is now increasing. The gap has increased over 1 second. It seemed like it was going to be within 1 second. The DRS it was going to be to Nui G, but is there going to be DRS to Nui G? Because no, the near wing is not open of that Red Bull, but is he gaining? Is he still gaining on that Mercedes? Because the Mercedes driver is going to go defensive on the inside line, but no, he's going to be still far, far away, Nui G, and not an opportunity for him to overtake, but he might as well just have one. He's just gonna have an opportunity to be closer and now have a chance at this point in the main straight, the DRS, and he's moving around left and right to try and defend his position in that Mercedes. But can he do it though? Because he's really struggling, it looks like. But he might have just been good enough to defend that P3 for the moment. But how long is that moment going to last for that Mercedes driver? That's about, we are definitely about to watch out for that. Is Nui G's soft tires and his Red Bull Challenger going to be enough to overtake that Mercedes? Is he going to be able to keep the pressure, hold on the pressure and hold on the nerves to overtake? Will Rhoda be able to hold on those nerves and defend this position in his favor? Because now not a lot of laps remaining, 3 laps including this one to the end. This is going to be a good fight. It could be some good points though, because either you're going to get 15 points or you're going to get 12 points, which of course is not the format. There is less points, and the points are for the top 7, so but still more points and more positions. A better position means some more points for the drivers, for your championship challenge. Lafayette still struggling, Trill not able to keep it out on track, but remember they pitted on lap 4 at the start of this race, so very early drivers that had to pit in this race after struggles, and is still now around the track. Ferrari ahead of them, but that's 17 seconds ahead of them. And Nui G still unable to overtake it. They're going to go wide. They're going to go super wide now on the exit, but have they gained an advantage? Because they sure look way closer to Rhoda now after running wide. And oh, that was very close. Rhoda just placing their car beautifully to defend on that inside line and keep that in to this themselves, that P3. For another spin to themselves. They're just stranded out in the middle of the track.
Go Copa,
The same part. Something they've had spins around on the track. Nui G still 5 tenths the gap between the two, but you have to say Rhoda has defended beautifully. Surely even on 2 lap older medium tires than Nui G soft, but those mediums have been enough. Any boots are enough for Rhoda at this point to defend in that Mercedes, and Nui G might as well be finding a little less struggle in his Red Bull team. But is the pressure going to be enough to Prodigy? Look at that gap, which was over 3 seconds earlier, is only 2 seconds now between Mappa and Prodigy. But is that going to be enough for Prodigy to get back to the top, to get closer to Mappa with the amount of laps remaining? As we're already on lap 13 out of 14, and we'll be moving up to the final lap of this Grand Prix on the next one. There might just not be enough, but that would have been a closer challenge as well. The Mercedes, as we said, the quiet challenges, the quiet wants that they just do their thing out of it, just stay where they are, do their job, and take out of it. But is that job going to be enough? Because New EG now has been ever closer to Rhoda there, and might as well get through. This time around, he's going to be on the inside line, turn one, and take their third place finally. But that's definitely not going to be enough, though. Oh, they're going to make contact. They both going to make contact, and he's going to be pushed wide there. Not pushed wide, but rather made contact, and going to be tapped from behind. And that New EG's Red Bull is going to be having around, but he's going to give that position back. Rhoda went into the back of New EG's Red Bull there, but then he hands out that position back to New EG to avoid any penalties, to avoid any trouble after the Grand Prix. Because you could get away with it right now, but it could follow up later on, and it could really go against you. So definitely do not want to want that, and wants to stay out of any trouble later on in this race. Still, I mean, kudos to him to even keeping up ahead of New EG for so long on those medium compound tires, being 2 laps older. And the soft tires, I mean, sure they are soft, they wear out early, but 5 laps is enough for them. Meanwhile, LaForest is now moving on very slow. I don't know whether they want to retire or they want to get over the line right now. Meanwhile, Mappa, our race leader, is going to be coming just around the final corner now. He's really has done a domination in Ferrari colors, and Mappa wins here at China and wins in Shanghai. Takes victory for Ferrari as well, and extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship. Prodigy in P2. New EG ends up in P3 as well, with Rhoda in P4. Then came Shahan in P5, with Sheehan in P6 in new colours as well, but Ranga in P7, one of the final drivers to finish.
Hey, what about you,
LaForest ended up DNFing in the end after a very struggling race. And that then is going to mark the end to this weekend of F1 Lads League. And Big Daddy's got a penalty, 10-second penalty, but no driver being behind, that is going to be of no use. And he's just going to come home to finish to the end and finish this race here at China.
Well done, Copper, man. Fuck yeah.
Well done, Copper. That's beautiful.
Driver of the day.
Hey, I'm happy for that that crash not to be investigated between the two of you, Nui G and Nui. That was fine. Yeah. Please, thanks.
Please. He gave that position back.
I gave the position back. Nuiji, you happy with that? I gave the position back.
Yeah.
You did. That was solid.
Let's move to presses.
Well done,
Same
Mapper, as
lobby.
well.
A few of the results, please send me.
Yeah.
Do you practice China at all, Mappa?
No.
Fuck.
Solid, bro.
Just raw
Copper, bro, you're quick, man. Look at that. Far out. 136.
Yeah, even if I didn't make that mistake, I reckon it would have got me.
Yeah. Just solid.
Team Mercedes up and about. Some solid points.
Oh no, let's
Hello,
go.
T-Pace.
And moving to the press conference and questions for these drivers. Let's get to our race leader, Mappa. I mean, what's your start, man? What a start to your Ferrari season, really, second half of the season. I mean, chances, pressure of moving teams, switching colours, but you sure stick to it and got that victory in the end.
Yeah, had to prove it to my team principals, who had obviously belief and faith in me that I could perform. And hopefully this is the comeback of the season, and we can take that championship. Aranga and I both, new driver lineup. We're looking forward to. I think Aranga did quite well as well in the race. But yeah, it's a good start. Good start to being in red.
Definitely, I mean, fresh colours, and that brings out some extra motivation as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And it was a pretty intense trade period. Free Chad. I know Chad's been suspended, but hopefully he's back on the pit wall, helping us because he's a great leading force, our fearless leader. So looking forward to getting back into things at Maranello with him. But yeah, I'm happy to sort of continue with the press conference. Nui G coming in second in Portugal. Looked like you were favourite there leading. What happened there with the McLaren?
Yeah, it was quite a tight battle. We were going side by side into the right-hander and got a little tap from the back. Luckily, didn't spin out. Only lost one position, but we'll go through the footage and see if any investigation is needed for that one.
You think you could have held off Mappa if you didn't get that tap?
I reckon it would have been close. Quite hard to overtake in Portugal, so possibly could have held him off.
And how are you feeling in blue?
Oh, it's amazing. It's such a better team culture. The WhatsApp chats at Red Bull are very good. The team principals are forwarding on some great images. Can't complain. No distractions either, unlike at Ferrari. Had quite a lot of distractions the night before and stuff.
And what are your thoughts on China coming in third? Started on the hards. What was the strategy there? What happened? Talk us through yours.
Simulation runs saw that the medium soft was degrading a bit too much, so we decided to start on the hards and go a bit longer, maybe a late safety car, then go on softs. But made a mistake which allowed the two Mercedes to go through, and both of them had very good pace. I was lucky enough to get the pass on Rodder, but great work from Prodigy. Great race pace. Could have a great end to the season, so we need to keep an eye out for the Prodigy as a competitor.
Speaking of Mercedes, we've got Culpa coming in sixth in Portugal and an amazing second. You'd have to say this is probably his best drive ever, and probably the most deserved podium. How are you feeling right now, Culpa?
Look, I just first and foremost want to thank my team principals for having the faith in keeping me in, not wanting to trade, and I feel hopefully proven my worth. Portugal was I think I got potentially hit and spun out and couldn't really claw myself back from there. And China just a matter of just sticking it on the track, and that was good. And shout out to teammate Nui for holding it up in third place and keeping Nui G off my tail.
And you would have thought you were in with a chance of really closing in on first place. Did you at any point think you could get that win?
Nah. I felt like first place was potentially just easing off the throttle there. So I did feel like even if I got within a couple of milliseconds, he would have been able to take off from there. So
bit of time management, you reckon? Yeah,
time management.
Fair
Or
enough.
just try and keep entertaining.
And Rodder, how are you feeling? I mean, some very strong words of encouragement throughout that entire race. In fact, over the commentary as well, they were struggling to keep up on the broadcast. And coming in third in Portugal, probably a gift thanks to Lafferay taking Nui G out. How do you think you went this weekend?
Yeah, overall, great weekend. Great race weekend for Mercedes. Big shout out to our team principals. Cass and Nguyen stood by us. The lineup's unchanged going into the second half of the season, and you can see the results are coming through. That faith, that loyalty, we appreciate that. I know Culper appreciates that as well. Big shout out to them. Portugal, you need a bit of luck. A little bump there in second and third, and took the podium. That's and I guess that's F1, isn't it? So we'll take that any day of the week. And then last but not least in China, Culper, what a race! Just held on, got that second place, and really proud of his efforts. He's been working hard during the break, and to get that result, incredibly proud. Very happy for the team. I know the team principals are celebrating. The champagne's already out, so yeah, we're gonna have a long night tonight. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Nui G, big ups to him as well. Couldn't hold him off. Tried to hold him off for as long as I could, but couldn't in the end. But yeah, good race by Nui G, and Mappa. I think that was wins in both rounds, Portugal and China. I think at the moment looking quite strong Mappa in that Ferrari. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes in second, third, and fourth, and how we compete for the rest of the season. But yeah, onwards and upwards, and try and get that constructors championship.
Well, speaking of your team principal, looks like you've got Nuan on. Nuan, are you free to chat for a sec, or?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, I mean, massive haul of points for you guys, coming in second and fourth in China, which is the feature race, and then third and sixth, that's double podium for both races. Both drivers having very high praise of their team principals. Are you forcing them to say this, or do they genuinely feel like it's a good team environment?
They genuinely feel that, obviously. I think it just goes to show the environment we've built within Mercedes. We trust each other. I just want to say real big ups to Kalpa there. Amazing driving, coming in second, and brilliant team play and defensive driving by Rodda, keeping Luigi off the tail as well, getting Kalpa some space. So, look, we're not forcing any words here. They're all genuine words. The champagne bottles are out and about. So no one will be driving tonight.
Brilliant. And you're the only team that didn't trade any driver during the mid-season driver trade window. What does that say about your team? What does that say about your confidence and belief in your driver lineup?
I think the results there speak for themselves. Getting back-to-back podium finishes. I mean, a lot of trades can mess with the driver mentality, and that's obviously shown here with some big drivers slipping down the ranks as well. So it'll be interesting to see the next couple of races how that plays out. But Mercedes is very confident in our decision not to trade. Results are showing.
Great, and we'll just go to the other team principal who's on. We've got, I think, Dylan G from Ferrari in place of Chad. Dylan G, I understand you're the step-in CEO. How much of that? How is Ferrari going with you at the helm?
Yeah, look, a big shout out to Chad, who's been carrying all the work for Ferrari over the last few weeks, along with TJ and myself, working slightly in the background, but not too much involvement because Chad has been taking the lead. It's disappointing that he's been suspended, but we look forward to Chad coming back to take over the reins, especially with our new inclusions of Mappa and Big Daddy coming in. But we have very high spirits, and Chad's decision to trade for Mappa has proven the biggest success, as you can see from the race results from today.
Great, thanks for that. Thanks for your comment. And just finishing off the stragglers, we've got Shahan coming in fifth in Portugal, and fifth in China and last in Portugal, which is quite disappointing. How much worse is your new driver pairing?
I don't think it's any worse. It's I would say this. Nui's come in. It's been a breath of fresh air. He's brought in a good attitude. I think he was a bit mistreated, if that's fair to say, from Ferrari. So he was battling his own day.
Did he just
cut him off? Cut him off. Just cut him off.
I didn't cut him off. Right. Okay. Looks like we've lost Shahan. Maybe something to do with Red Bull cutting. He's back.
Technical issues.
Right. Not your team principal cutting you off, or?
No, not at all. I think saying it's a bad driver pairing isn't the case at all. Nui's brought in a really good attitude. I think he was mistreated, if anything, in Ferrari, and he was just he's come into a really supportive group now, as his results can show. No errors, and he's raced really well. In terms of Mappa leaving, I guess we've all had that 1X, kind of makes it feel like a roller coaster, ups and downs, and I guess for us, Mappa was our Toxic X, and even though I wish him well, I wish Ferrari better luck.
Fair enough. And last but not least, we are grateful for having Sir Michael Massimbutta on the call, on the press conference. Do you have any comments? Are you expecting any severe penalties to be handed out this weekend? Any general commentary there from you?
Yeah, there's a few incidences in Portugal that I actually missed on the stream, so I'll have a look at that after the race. But it was really good to see the good sporting spirits of Nui and Nui G there, swapping the places after the crash. So that's what we want to encourage in this league. So good job, boys.
Great. Well, that wraps it up for us at week 6. Thank you, Zabi, for your commentary as always. Thank you, everyone else, and we'll be going back racing next